Hey, been a minute since we had a podcast episode. So I figured, why not? Uh Actually I need to here, we're gonna do that for you non TikTokers, whatever. I don't know. Anyways, this normally goes up on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple mostly. So yeah, makes more sense for it to have the wide profile. I normally film my cooking videos in the other profile though. But it had been a minute since we had done a video, or not a video, but a podcast. So figured it was time. Last one was 4th of July, I think. And again, it's not that I didn't want to. I'm not. I'm not struggling in that sense. I guess I've been busy. Don't get me wrong. Uh, been very busy, but all good. All really good, actually. Uh, can't really share any of it yet. I think I may have dropped hints at some of it before, but I still can't share a whole lot of it. However, what I would like to talk about is music, rallying, wrestling. Those are kind of what's on the to-do list today, so to speak. So one of the biggest things is WRC has a new promoter, which it's been for sale for quite a while, and there's been a dire need for change for several years. I think the first time Thierry Neuville said something was like 2023 or something like that. So they had been really wanting this for a while. They're finally getting it, and I think it's going to be good for everyone. They're getting new regulations next year for the 2027 cars. Toyota's really the only ones that have really committed. Lancia said, gave like a yeah, maybe. Rally Project 1 just dropped this past week that they're only doing the tarmac events. So that's kind of interesting, because how do you get top talent in your car if you're only running like 5 out of the 14 events or whatever? So that'll be interesting and kind of a bummer. We should be hearing about the schedule very, very soon, like the end of the month. At least that's the tentative plan. So I am interested to see what gets said during all of that. Sami Paari did something that nobody else has done, and he won Rally Finland and Rally Estonia back to back. That's twice now this year where we've had 2 first-time winners that went back to back, or 3 times really, because if you count Solberg's win in Estonia last year and then his win in Mani. So yeah, they're rocking and rolling over there at Toyota, aren't they? One thing that I found really interesting, music-wise, that I wanted to weigh in on was the whole thing with Charlie Crockett and the whole Sid Wilson thing with Slipknot. But we'll get to that here in a second. But this whole thing with Charlie and I can't even remember the name of the group, but they're like a satanic doo-wop group, apparently. And, I get Charlie's reasoning and blah, 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 whatnot. I don't necessarily fully agree with it, because you brought this group on, you promised them these tour dates, and I get that they don't jive. That like the two they're not gonna mesh. The ones they're both unique in their own ways, and somewhat eclectic, but at the same time, like, this was bigger for the doo-wop group than it was for Charlie Crockett, for obvious reasons. However, what happened, I still don't think it's quite right. Like, they're touring, they're relying on that money, and now they're in a spot where they're out that money. And so that's not good for anybody. And I want everybody to be able to work. I want everybody to be able to provide for their people. So I think what should have happened was Charlie should have screened better who was going to be put on his tour. That way, these people wouldn't have ever ended up in a spot where, well, now we have no tour dates. Because that's really the only fair thing. And then the whole Sid Wilson thing with Slipknot is very interesting. And Garza from the Garza podcast actually had a really good point. And that is that, 9 people in one band. And they kept the original lineup until Paul Gray's passing. And so that in itself is very impressive. But the whole release of like Sid just seemed weird. Like they confirmed it, then they took down that they confirmed it. I don't know. Very interesting goings-ons over there in the Slipknot camp. But I guess that's their prerogative. Today's episode is going to be really short. Hope you don't mind. But I hadn't made an episode in so long, and I really, really wanted to. Ojibwe is the next ARA rally. So if you're wanting to get interested in rallying, try to follow that one. That one's going to be a good one. Newcomer to American rallying and, well, rallying in general, Steph Quintero. And when I say new to rallying, I mean competing. But he could potentially win the championship. He just won 2 rallies back to back, like a boss. So that was pretty impressive. And we'll see what happens from there. But Zilla Fatu just debuted in NXT, and so I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. On that note, I think we're going to call it an episode. I know I yammered for just a little bit, and this episode is going to be a little under 10 minutes, but thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch you again here real soon under this tin roof.